Yo, it's Jesse with Bone Land Clearing. We got a small job today. The customer's only wanting to do 1 day to see where we're at with both machines. So we're around a pond. I got to go. I dropped the skid steer off Tuesday, and we're gonna get this thing fueled up because we got a pretty good ways to go back there around the back. So we're gonna try to get this off. We're gonna park here. Luckily, this is kind of like a small little back road, and they're farming today. They're cutting fields, so I'm getting out of their way the best I can. So, and now I don't have to worry about crackheads. So it's pretty bad in Alabama. But anyway, let's see if we can get this off. All right, I got 2 cats out in the wild here. That's what we got. So got both my machines here. It sucks having trying to run both because they're for 8 hours a piece. That's how I try to a day, you know, I try to charge it out by the day. So this is what they got. Can't tell just yet. There's a big, I think it's a 5-acre pond or something like that. They've got some beavers, and that's fairly fresh. So there's a bunch of rocks, fire pit, and it's like a hangout for the family. A lot of family comes up here, so he's wanting me to clean up all this right in here all the way down. So we're gonna start down there at the dock he just had freshly built. So what I was gonna do is kind of pull some of this out and try to make my way that way, because that's his main priority, is down that way, and then push up this way. So, and if we can, which I know we will, we'll be able to get all this, and then this top side of, it's kind of a ledge, and then it drops down again, and it drops down for the pond, which I'll show you on the other side. So we got all this to do. Get all, he said if I can get over here, that'd be perfect. Just work my way from this corner down. It's kind of like a teardrop, because he's got a, you know, little ATV trail around this little area. So we'll be able to get all this stuff and all that right there. So, and then we'll push on that top ledge on that top side. So that's what we got. All right, so here is the dock that they just had built. They're gonna put handrails on it, so they said that, you know, they just want this cleaned up. So I might have to rip up all this. There's like a concrete slab over there for like a seat for fishing and stuff, which he said it's low, and it's usually right under the dock. So we're waiting on some rainfall, but he wants me to clean up all this all the way down, and you can kind of see the cat just right down through there. So we got all this, but it kind of, it's like flat and then it drops off, which you can see over here. Pretty good slope. Nice little stairway. So it's not, yeah, I mean, it's like this, but we can kind of come in and then chew all this up, rip all this out, kind of clean up underneath. So kind of rip stuff out the best I can, and then just come in and mulch what I can, and then take the excavator and rake everything on top. So we're gonna try to get back to it and get the mulching all this, rip up some of this stuff that's just overhanging and stuff, throw it over here, mulch it up, so and get these pushed out of the way, and they'll start looking pretty good. I decided to go ahead and start on this lower side, because I have to have the excavator for most of this over here. I can throw a bunch of stuff, rip it up with the excavator right in here, because it's nice and flat. I was able to get the mulcher to mulch up a little bit. This is where we first was at. I went down there and hit a little bit, and it hit the top ledge. There's a big mound, there's 2 big mounds of dirt with somebody done with a dozer. I'm gonna push it down, level it, so that way I can get in between those trees, because right in here is where the water's a lot closer to the bank. So, and then it opens up right in here all the way down. So we'll try to rake away from the trees a little bit. That way I can mulch that stuff up close to the tree without hitting it, because I'm going down slope, because my push bar will hit before then. But we're going to try to rip up some of these, and then right in here I got 2 big mounds of dirt. I'd like to try to rake up a little bit, and then I'll rake out some of these trees. So there's a bunch of tree stobs we'll try to get. There's a shovel right there. But like right in between where I know I can't get in, I'm gonna try to rake all that stuff out, and then probably take some of these trees out too. So see if we can. I was hoping I can get in a lot more with the skid steer, but it's not looking that way, just because of how the trees and how the machines I'm having to go in. I got to realizing after I pushed all this up that there's some of the hog wire here and here. So so I started spreading all this out, because I ripped out a bunch right here. You can tell where I broke some of it. So we got a long ways to the truck, and it's just so dusty. I'm almost tempted just to go home. It's so dusty. That beaver's already starting to cut a bunch of these big trees. Right in here, there's 3 of them he's chewed up. Didn't even finish them out. I don't know. We'll have to see how dusty it is, because I can't see nothing. I smoothed this out a little bit, because it was like big mounds. I started going across and I thought I was about to flip. So I just made it to where I can just kind of get in and chew stuff up. That tree's dead. So I'll just have to get in here and mulch everything I can, and then we'll come back with the excavator and rip it up, and then fine tune everything, like little stuff around the trees. So it's just powder, just dusty. But anyway, we'll get back at it, and we'll probably have all this done in the next hour or 2. So we're going to keep trying to pushing it and clean it up a little bit. Try to record some of this. It's literally this. That's all I see, and I'm not even on the ground. I can't see what I'm doing either. I don't know if I'm about to fall off or not. So I don't know. It's getting irritating. All right. Still tasting the dirt. It's pretty rough. I got that so that way I can clean it up. And it's only 10, so I mean I got most of all this done all the way down there, but my problem is stuff kind of hanging there around the trees, which I couldn't see it, so some of it I can just go back and hit it. But I'm gonna take the excavator, like the little scragglies, I'm gonna rip them off, but I'm gonna go grab the chainsaw. That way I can cut some of them, like trees like that right beside that. Got little twigs I couldn't get to. I'm gonna take the excavator and pull everything up. Maybe I can throw it on top where ain't no dirt. So down there's a big old log. But yeah, just trying to get in best I can, kind of rake some in between here. That way I can fine tune everything. So we got this little RV next to the river. Well, I say river, pond. So I ripped up this corner over here. I just happened to see this thing hanging here. It's like a little box. Like, what the heck is that? There's a little light here. So I did damage some of the wire. Did not know it was here. So I'm gonna have to get close. And it's underground. I got most of this stuff ripped up. Bunch of rocks. Had to move his power line pole ends out of the way. Not really sure what this is. It's like a fake stump, or it's like a fake stump with the pod on it. Bunch of rocks. So I'm gonna try to come in and mulch some of it up and then rake some more out. So once I get over here, I'm gonna get all the rocks out. So gotta get these moved out of the way. Just wanted to show you. Got all that ripped up. And then I'm gonna mulch some of the, I tried to push some of that down. That way it'll be a nice slope. Kind of tell a little bit of a difference. Once I come on this backside and kind of hit the roots. That's what we got. And then over here, I'm gonna leave these because some of these look pretty good. I may try to trim them up, kind of get the ones around it. But I was wanting to leave that because that kind of gives you that pond look and feel. But once I get all these piles cleaned up and all the way down there, and then some of it trimmed up so that way it takes the tree limbs out, it should look a lot better. For some reason, this time of year when you do cleaning and stuff like that, it don't look as good as it was if it was, I guess during spring and stuff. It's just so dry, it just looks rough. So, I'm gonna get the mulching what I can until lunch. And then lunch is literally just next 25-30 minutes. So I got all that, everything raked away from it. And then once I get this done, and then I'm gonna work on this, kind of cleaning this, and I'm gonna chop it and then go all the way down because that's pretty thick in there. So I'm just gonna chop it and then cut it in half and then work my way down this way. But his main priority was this, all this in here. So I can mulch this up pretty quick. A little brush. I'm gonna tear out some of these. There's a bunch of dead ones in here. I forgot to get that one. See, some of these are just overhanging over here, so it just don't look good. Forgot about that one. This is what I found earlier. Mulch right on top of it. But yep, bunch of vines too, so we'll have to trim those up. Gotta get these vines off these trees. But yep, that's what we got. And then once I come back through and mulch all these little twigs and stuff like that and these trees, it'll look 10 times better. Getting the machine blew off. Boy, is it dusty. I'll show you how much I got out of the filter. Air filter had all that right there in it. Jeez. Wind blew at the time. Jeez. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab some lunch real quick. I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I gotta figure out where to back into. Everything's got a small driveway, so see if we can't get it going. My lord, dude, I can't see nothing. I don't even know what it looks like. None of that. I'm on a slope over here like this. I mean, it's sharp, so sitting in a machine like this while you're trying to go back and forth, It's horrible. Now I gotta watch out for rocks and stumps. So we're getting close. Alright, so I got all the rocks picked up, put those center blocks up so that way I can get on the edge. I got some stuff because it's dipped, picks up and it drops off again, so it's hard to get in the little nooks and crannies. I'll have all this, all that done, and then I'm gonna make a trail on this backside. He's already got an ATV trail, but I'm gonna widen it up. And I'm gonna make my way back up here, kind of go in here and just kind of tuck it back, so that way he'll have this whole lower side. This will look a lot cleaner once I get down, mulched down as far as I can go, and then use the excavator for the rest of the day. Go around that curve, and then as far as I can, I mean, that's just straight off like that. That is the most smooth. So it's a nice gradual smooth slope. So, but yeah, that's what I got, and I just had cleaned it. So don't take long on this dust. Man, that is horrible. Stinks. Look at that. Ridiculous. So they got the picnic and then a big old campfire, and then they got a grill. So I'm gonna try to push a little bit to kind of open this up. I wish I can get all this whole corner, but my plan is to get most of this with the excavator, rake it up, and then start on this island right here. And then that should get us at the end of the day. And I got that down there done. Ugh. Got some chunks here and there, but I can rake it up. Ain't no problem. And I'm gonna take all this out. I forgot to grab my pole saw to take those and clean those up a little bit. Then I'm gonna clean all that up, and that corner over there, clean that up. A few twigs here and there. If it wasn't so dusty, it wouldn't be that bad. Real dusty. I got some few chunks here and there. They keep just slinging out. I just cannot wait to get a new mulching head. But anyway, so I got little piles right there. I got 3 or 4 finished piles over down that way. I got to go down there next to the pond, pull that up, but I got a bunch of piles where I just raked that with excavator. So I'm just going to go back and just kind of fine tune everything. Some of it I couldn't get close, or when I raked it back, it still had a bunch of the like little twigs and stuff like that. So just try to knock it down. Won't take much longer. That's what we got. Looks a whole lot better. Crap, I forgot to get in there. But yeah, the pond's real low though. He says it's all the way up through here. So this is how low it is. It's pretty low, but there's also a beaver too, so not sure if the water comes down this way or that way, but I would imagine it comes down this way. Yep, that's what we got. Come back down through here and clean some of the chunks. I will show you the finish. I can't show nothing because it's so dusty. Looked like it's supposed to, or it was going to rain today, but it didn't. All right, so I got a bunch of it picked up. Might have to dust that off because it's already getting dusty, or dust dark. So I pushed that a little bit, kind of pushed everything towards the bigger stuff. I got all that down there. And I started picking up some of the chunks. I just keep going over and it's just slinging it. So this is what I got. So dusty, I taste it. Cleaned up around the picnic and stuff like that. I got a few things over here I pulled down off the tree, like vines and stuff like that. So, and then once I do the cleanup over here, then I'm going to take the mulcher and then start pushing some of this back just a little bit to keep it off of everything, or off the path. This is like an easement to the pond or something like that. I can't remember. That's what I got. So I'm not sure. The customer told me to do 1 day, see what it looks like. So I mean, I done his priority, so not sure what else he wants me to do. All right. Let's see if anybody's messing with my truck. That's what I'm afraid of. But we're gonna park it right here for the night. Park it for the night and come back in the morning. I told him what I wanted. I done exactly what he wanted, and then some. So like, hey, if you do this, let's do this. So I done more and extra. So it's so dusty. But anyway, I'll show you tomorrow what it looks like, and we'll go from there. All right, before my GoPro dies, this is the ending. I got all this right here. Got it cleaned up. Got that lower side. Well, the camera died and I had the excavator on the other side. So I brought it home and this had the batteries in it. So it's rained, or it sprinkled this morning. So it's a nightmare. It's not even dusty. It was just enough to make everything nice and barely damp. But this is what we got done. We cleaned this up last night. I didn't record nothing because it was dark and it was dusty, so you know, I was only able to do so much with the dust. So you can kind of tell it just, you can kind of see it's just a little bit darker. This is what we got. Looking pretty good, and I pushed that other side. It's pretty nice, and the owner's pretty happy. There's a few chunks here and there, but they said that they'll use the chunks for the fire. So this is what we got on this lower side. I cleaned up this corner and then came back and then raked everything out. I think these are weeping willows, and I couldn't budge them with my excavator. So, and I cleaned up a bunch of piles, chunks and stuff like that. They said they're not worried about it. It'll help dampen the growth. But I couldn't see. I mean, I'd put it in piles and it would just slink it somewhere else. So here is the dock that they had. Way much cleaner through the trees. So I just made it to where he can get in and get out with his tractor. That way he can keep it maintained. So it being winter, everything will die off, and that's a lot better. So it kills everything off. So I just kind of stopped around this corner. He said as long as you get down here, all that down there, and then I'll show you this down slope where the fire pit's at. All right, so up here at the top side, they had this little campfire, a grill, and seating. So he's like, if you can get right here, he's like, if you can just clean this out a little bit, he said, we'll worry about the rest. Which I pushed a lot more for him. I think it was like a 20 or 29 acres. So I didn't have my pole saw. Something broke on it, so I wasn't able to clean this stuff up right here. He said he's not worried about it at all. But so I got to get my pole saw fixed. And then there's our campfire. I moved some of the rocks, so I kind of picked up some of the chunks that fell in little dips, just kind of threw them a little bit of fire. That way they can cut that, burn it off. Ain't too bad. As how bad dusty it was, I couldn't even see what was going on, so luckily I didn't fall off. So that's it on this one. A little small one-day job. Customers are super happy about it. I'm pretty happy about it too. That way they can, because all this you couldn't even see nothing. But anyway, if you like it, let me know what you think. Got a few more small jobs I could do, and most of it's just mulching. I got a excavating job, it's a little small one. But like and subscribe. See you on the next one.